Hello again. Y'all might be thinking out there, it's like, well, Wendy, why did you put yourself in the situations you put yourself in? I fucking didn't. Basically, all I wanted was a loving, kind, compassionate relationship. That's it. That's what I wanted. You know, I didn't go for the fucking bad boys. I went for the ones that were dressed to a T a certain way. They walked a certain way. They talked. I thought they were good, and then I realized that they fucking were just putting on a show. And then I had to deal with all this stupid shit like their sins that they tried to sweep under the rug or hide, and then of course there was always a battle because I wasn't gonna put up with that shit. And if I ever tried to leave the situation, there was a fucking throwdown because they didn't want me to leave, and I'm like, well, fuck. They act like they didn't want me around through their actions. Someone's going behind your back and fucking some bimbo or bitch, or, if they're, lying to your face, or if they're, trying to put you down, then I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this such a fucking fight? Let go. But you know what? I've discovered that men, once they keep on pissing on you, they think they have ownership of you. I'm like, no, that isn't how it works. Nobody's property. That's what I say. I'm nobody's fucking property. I will never be anybody's property. I am my own beautiful, wonderful, independent little self. And I will always be. And I'm not interested in devils or demons. Now, I have love in my heart for all, but I'm not interested in being, for those that aren't for me, or are feeding into their bullshit. I've had friends all over the place, and I appreciate and I'm grateful for, what they brought to my table to help me out in this world. But at the same time, they had a bunch of fucking issues. And we would sit there and, there was division and separation. And, they couldn't understand why there was division and separation, because I always want to move forward and better myself, and they enjoy sitting still as they are. They don't want to improve themselves. They don't want to do better for themselves. They like, and there's always a fight. And, I never understood their fight when, I'll sit there be speaking and they're like, well, you're just judging or condemning. For one, I just talk. What other people are doing behind closed doors, that's their own fucking business. If they feel persecuted, by their behaviors, and they need to take a look at themselves in the mirror and not sit there and, go and try to bring somebody down because of the way they're walking and talking. Look, to all those out there, I don't give a fuck what you do behind closed doors. If you get butt hurt over some of the things I say, that's your own fucking problem. But, that's why I tell the devils and demons out there, bringing me down and hurting me and, try to step on me, I will never submit to that. I will never submit to that, and I will always despise those that come against me. Always. I've had it. Like that old man up there that's suffering right now, like he is fucking suffering. He always expected me to submit to him. He was a disgusting pig, and he was always an asshole to me. As a child, he abused me. Like I got abused, knocked down as a little kid. Sit there, call me names, whore, slut, all this stuff. Bring accusations against me. I forgive him. I have nothing against him. But him doing all that, now he is suffering. He is dying slowly. I wish he'd fucking die faster. However, he brought upon himself pain and suffering. I didn't do that. I don't want pain and suffering for anybody. However, that's all that's coming. They might come against me to try to silence me and make me to submit. However, what he is facing is his own bile coming right back at him. trying to knock others down to be above them. And that's what I say to the devil and demons, witches, bitches. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what fucking charities you belong to. I don't care how you vote. I don't care about your skin color. I don't care what your income or class is. I don't care what your level of being you think you're on. You don't get away with shit. If you don't carry the heart of Christ and you're not being loving towards others, and I don't care who the fuck they are, fucking, no matter who has come against me, I still love them and want the best for them, no matter what, because I believe every day we can get up and live better. That doesn't mean, I'm going to take X's back or, be around the O's. However, I want the best life. I want the best way for them, not even in life experience, but beyond this human experience. I want the best for them. They might not be able to say the same. They might come against me, but that's my heart. And that'll never change. And, they might try to bring me down because they don't like my attitude or personality, but I still love them. And that's what I said all out there. Y'all can sit there and be perverted, derogatory. Y'all can be the biggest assholes you are towards me, and I will always love you. However, that doesn't mean I have to feed into your bullshit. Nobody has to feed into your bullshit. I've had both genders both beside themselves because they could not hold me still or get me to behave the way they want me to fucking behave. And I'm like, what is the deal? I am who I am. I be who I be. If I'm not attracted to you, I'm not attracted to you. If I don't want a relationship with you, I don't want a relationship with you. If I don't want to go with you, I don't want to go with you. And a lot have tried to put on a show, but I'm like, no. The only one I will go with, even when I travel around, and what I make, not really plans with, but, the one I talk with is my mom. Because she's been the only one for me in this fucking pitiful world. Like, I've had friends, but they haven't been for me. They might do little nice things for me. However, my mom has, been there for me and helped me. And, she's become a friend to me. And I share things with her. And, and it took me a while to open up with my mom and share things with. Now I'm sharing with her little details and, enjoying talking to her. And, before I was kind of talking at her. And I get that because I had a lot of hurt. And, and it's been like the last 2 years has been a lot of me opening up and revealing, what I'd been holding on to for such a long time, and, it keeps on coming out. And, I finally just, stopped being ashamed of how I felt. Like yesterday, or it might have been the day before, I told her, because her old man keeps on coming in there and trying to smoke in the front room where I have my bed and she has her bed there, and he's got a fucking room to himself. And she told him, she's like, don't be smoking around her because it sits there and makes me sick. And he's like, well, and he's like, well, she smokes cannabis or weed. And she was like, no, I have not, like, seriously, I have not smoked any cannabis in probably like 4 months. And, because there's not any good cannabis in Texas, but also, I've been having problems. Even now, I have a plant, but, I'm not for sure until I discover what is going on with me. I can't participate in anything. Like, tomorrow, Monday, I finally go to a health clinic to address the situation and see what's going on, why I'm swelling up, why I'm having heaviness in my legs and my arms, why I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing. But yes, I sit there for myself. I am not eating sweets. Like my coffee, I have cream and, cane sugar. I quit the other sugar. I got a healthy cereal, which is good, and I've been cutting back on bread. Like, I've been so cutting back on so much stuff just to, help my body, put away and try to get better. I'm not judging or condemning out there, but, I'm not going to come against my body when I'm sick. Just like her old man. He's been, apparently he's had lung cancer, but he smoked the whole fucking time. And now he's scared to die. I'm like, what the fuck? Let go. You didn't, you wasted life. You didn't want to be for your body, which is your temple. Your body is your temple. And yes, I have come against my body. I can't sit there and point fingers at others and say I haven't come against my body, because I have. However, I have gained discipline and, tried to grow. The spirits call me more of a hermit. And I was like, well, I just don't feel like putting myself out in the world. There's nothing to really, I'm in an area that there's nothing to go do. In Texas, the only thing to go do, like where I'm at, is maybe hit the bars or go to the church, or, it's, there's not much here. There's not coffee shops like there's, like they do in certain areas where people share their, it's kind of bare. It's bare minimum around here. And it's not like when I was younger, we had the Espresso Europa, which was Abilene. It was downtown. And of course, the cops didn't like us. And, because people be skateboarding at night. At night, not fucking during the day. There was nobody around at night. But at night, they would sit there and walk around or, just enjoy themselves. And the cops were always fucking harassing us for no good reason. That's why I say to those police officers, y'all are going to be awful fucking busy to be harassing kids and shit like that are just trying to, have a little enjoyment in life and have a little place to get away from their, their asshole parents or, the schools and shit like that. Believe me, I grew up in a time that if you didn't fucking play football or cheerleader, and Texas is pretty much like that, and that's why their schools keep on getting shot up. Because if you don't fit a criteria or income, they will fucking harass you, bully you, and that's the fucking truth. I grew up being bullied in school, and then when I got home, I sat there and faced abuse from my mom's old man. That was my fucking childhood. It sucked ass. So I say those out there, I understand what it's like to have the shit knocked out of you for absolutely fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. To have that hell beat out of you and be treated like you're fucking lower than a dog. He treated me worse than, we had animals, and he treated me like I was, just fucking an invasive species in the house. That's the way he treated me. That's the way he talked about me. I mean, I was always just a pathetic creature to him. So that's what I say to those out there. I know what it's like to be treated like shit because I grew up in fucking abuse. That's why it took a while for me to, heal and forgive and, and when I start speaking, people are like, I can't believe you went through that, because they always think that I had some kind of fucking glorious life with silver spoon. Everywhere I went out, people, men and women, both assume that I had such a good life because I have, kindness about me and stuff. And I was like, no, that isn't how I grew up. I grew up in absolutely squallow and hell. There was no, none that really tried to make a difference in my life. And that's just the fucking truth of it. Like, even my teachers were fucking witches towards me. And, spirits always come to me and it's like, why do you have such a fucking problem with others? And I was like, look here, fuckers. I don't have a problem with anybody. I just know who they are and their false persona. Okay, I went to school with y'all little fucking assholes out there. I know how y'all treat people, or I know how y'all treated me. Now, y'all treated each other differently, but I was fucking ridiculed, made fun of, called names in school. harassed, treated like I had some kind of fucking disease, and I don't even know why. I was singled out. Like, I'll sit there and watch TV about, some of the shows that kids had, they had, they didn't have to deal with that. But I had the bullies and shit like that. I had that. Where I would avoid certain situations, or I had fear and stuff like that. I had that when I was a kid. Believe me, I've never been treated well. Even when I was married, I wasn't treated well. Yeah, I was treated like a fucking outsider. He did. He treated me like I was nothing. He just wanted a wife to be married to and to serve him. I've not had a good life. And I admit that. And I'm ready. I let go of everything. I enjoyed being a mom. I really did. But at the same time, it wasn't a happy experience because my children weren't for me. That's why I had children to begin with. It's because I thought if I had children, I would have love. But that wasn't the case. It was just me being a caregiver, an incubator and a caregiver. I didn't receive that love. It was the opposite. And I don't know why. This whole world, and that's why people come to me of religion. Well, God loves you. And I'm like, take your God and shove him up your ass. The gods of man can all go to fucking hell as far as I'm concerned. Because they've never been for me. And that's what I say to all out there. You can take your gods and shove them up your ass. You can take your politics and shove them right up your ass. You can take everything that has to do with man and their kind and shove them up their ass. As for me, in my temple, I'm going to walk my golden path. I'm going to walk in love. But as for anything, none can sit there and come and say, God so loves you, because that's a crock of shit. And I'm not eating bullshit with a spoon no more. Because if I was so loved, then then I would feel at home in this world. And to all those out there that want to believe that fucking bullshit and cater to that bullshit, then go right ahead, because I'm not judgmental or condemning to you. And I don't care what people believe or how they go about. However, I'm not going to sit there and listen to that crock of bullshit. I'm not going to sit there and, watch celebrities on TV and with them putting on a show that they're so kind and this and that, when I know they're fucking not. They've not done anything for me, and they sure haven't made this world a better place for me to live in. In fact, they've made this place worse. Because they've created brands and all kinds of shit that's toxic for the environment, and they've caused people to act like assholes too, that think they're so great and want to be just like them. Instead of being humble upon the land and, being a light and growing in wisdom, they want to be like those selfish, self-righteous assholes on stages and on platforms. That's what I say to the one that sit there and said, that he so loved the world because he gave his own begotten son. That's fucking bullshit. If he so loved the fucking world, then he would clean it up and show love. Keep it. Look, when you so love something, you keep it. I see how men, keep their certain cars or their, video games, or when you so love something, you keep it. You put your time, your attention, you love it. It's clean, it's well taken care of, it's maintenance. Look, I'm ready to so be loved by others, to have my one that so loves me. Right now I'm cared for and I'm grateful, but I'm not so loved. Because so love means someone will put their all into you. I so love myself because I do my best with what I have. I so love myself. That's why I don't believe anybody else when they say they so love me. I was like, bull fucking shit. Because believe me, when I so love others, I stand up. When I love someone and someone's coming against them, I stand up and say, look here, asshole. I'm protective. I don't try to, be jealous of them, but I'm protective. I used to have that jealousy, but I've always been protective. I had this friend, And she went in a relationship where he was bullying her, and I would sit with her, and even when I had fear, I would stand up to others. Like, there was this girl that I had met in Japan, and she told me that her boyfriend was abusive and stuff like that. And of course, she was from a different country. I think she's Filipino or something like that. She had a baby, and he worked the night shift, but I don't know if he was really an asshole or either. Anyways, but uh, she had told me some things, and basically, I was at their apartment. He came in, and he was saying something, and I told him, I was like, you can't be that way towards her. I was like, and you're in the service. I was like, you will be reprimanded for that. And I was fearful, but I still stood up, and I was still protective over somebody else. Even though I was scared, because I was fearful of, speaking up. Like, when I was younger, I was very shy. It was hard for me to, have confrontation. Like, it was really hard for me to have confrontation with others. Now I don't give a fuck. But that was like my start. Like, I started standing up, and I stood up to him, and I said, you can't, treat her like that. And of course, after a while, I just kind of, because she kept on coming around, and I really didn't want her around because I didn't want to deal with her shit. So I did, basically put her off and hide from her because I just wasn't interested in dealing with that. But, I kind of feel the fact that he just wanted a wife and married her and had a baby, and he expected her to play a certain role, and she didn't want to play that, so they would probably fight about that. And she would leave the baby with him even though he worked all night, and I could understand his frustration and her frustration. There's plenty of women that have been impregnated by men, trying to have that wife, and they don't want to be a wife. And I get that. Women are not obligated to be fucking wives. That's why they sit there and, now with abortion, I don't think abortion is right. I mean, I'm not going to condemn or judge it because I've been in abortion. Because I was, my history is that as I sit there and had that removed out of my uterus, my incubator, because it was causing me difficulties and stuff like that, and I wasn't ready to be of that. Never, and I've had several come against me because of that was, my choice, and it was my fucking choice. I didn't want to fucking be an incubator. The best thing about it is, they should offer birth control or something like that, but I wasn't. There was just something that told me that I didn't need that child or that thing inside me. It was. Now that I look at man and their kind, it was just a parasite that was put inside me so that way I could feed into it. That it could grow inside me and I could bring another little asshole into this world. It's not a tragedy when there's not any more humans born into this world. That is not a travesty at all. And I say that. I don't think it's murder to sit there and, take that out of your body, Now, do women need to take precautions if they're going to be out there and be on birth control and stuff like that? Yes. And I do believe I was on a type of birth control when I had conceived, and and it made me sick. It did. It was making me sick. In fact, that's how I discovered I was pregnant, is I was having real bad anxiety and panic attacks, and my body didn't feel right. Then I found out, and then it went away. So I sent it back to whence it come. I didn't want that man's seed. And I have, experienced much, and I'm not going to be ashamed because I said that I didn't want this or whatever. The devil, which is the god of man, the gods, they want you to act a certain way, be a certain way, be impregnated, serve. And I'm like, I'm done doing this shit. I don't want to be an incubator. I don't want to be a mom to those that don't fucking appreciate me. I don't want to be a wife to, you know, a man that has nothing for me. I don't want to be a lover to, you know, someone that just goes around and fucks other people. I'm not somebody's cum dumping station, that's for fucking sure. I'm not going to support those that don't support me. And that's what I say. I'm done. I guess I'm done. And, you know, if they don't like my fucking personality or attitude, I don't give a fuck. And that's what I say to y'all out there. You don't have to comply. And I'm not going to comply anymore. That's what is up. That's for all those that think I should fucking comply to them. I'm not fucking complying to y'all. I've earned my stripes. I've been through my shit. I've had this life experience, and it has been shitty. And nobody's going to bring me down for my experiences in this world. None have a right. I've been bullied, this, that. And I'm like, I'm not dealing with y'all shit no more. That's why I'm sitting there, you know, looking at the things I want to look like. Yeah, like yesterday, I, you know, looked at curtains because I want to find the fucking perfect curtain for my spot in the van, you know, or not the van, but the bus, you know, that I'm gonna have. I already have it. It's just, it's coming. So I'm picking out the curtains for it. And of course I want it to, you know, be a certain way because the wardrobe's been picked out. I've already got the shower curtain. There's already certain things that have already starting to come to me, you know. And, you know, I've already made out the floor plan, you know, the measurements and everything. And that's the measurements of the shower's on its way, the toilet's on its way. So, and I've already, you know, they said that it was like so many feet and, you know, across and width of, you know, of available area to work in. So I took that and I, you know, made my own like little layout. And I think it's been fun, you know, because I've got it down to the inches. I'm not into centimeters or millimeters, but there are some things that I do have to convert the centimeters to the inches and then inches to feet. So I've, you know, and all this stuff is coming to me just like this. And I didn't learn that shit in school. So I tell you now, if you didn't learn it in fucking elementary school or middle school or high school, you can learn it. I learn more right now. You know, it just comes to me without having a fucking teacher over me. In fact, I didn't learn much in school except for that humans are assholes. That's just the truth. So if you think that going to an institution of man is going to make you smart, that's a fucking lie. All it will is make you prideful in a degree. Like all those people that gone to college, believe me, I've met them in my workplace. They think they're smart because they have a fucking degree, but they're not. And remember, by confessing yourself or professing yourself to be wise, you are a fool. Because wisdom comes from experience. And not all knowledge comes from a book. It doesn't. You can tap into this unseen force, and that it'll just feed your mind or show you where to get the information that's needed. And it took me a while to understand and process of what's coming on, because I'd keep on getting pissed off about, you know, what I've been experiencing in this world. But there's a difference between the light and tapping into the light, and then, you know, dealing with the darkness in this world. Because the darkness wants to keep you down and waste your time through watching certain programming or, you know, following certain things. That's just the truth of it. They're trying to keep you down, to keep you ignorant, so that way you'll sit there and follow them and praise them and worship them and be for them instead of for yourself. Because when you're an independent learner, you don't need others instructing you or being over you. Like, I don't need a fucking government. Like, if aliens came down right now and said, take me to your leader, I'd be all, this is me right here. Or, you know, who's your president? I was like, me. Because that idiot on the platform is not my fucking president, and he doesn't fucking talk for me. Or she. It doesn't matter what gender it is. They don't fucking talk for me. That's the truth of it. I'm just here having an experience. And, I tell the truth of what the experience I've had so far because they wanted me to comply and submit to their stupidity. And I'm not submitting to the stupidity around me. Because the world of man is a complete idiotic setup. It is. Man and their kind, no matter what gender, man is man, no matter if they have a twat or a dick. They're both the same. It's just, they're both the same. They've just been fed roles. That's why they're confused now, because they're both the same. It don't matter if they have a twat or a dick. It's just if they were male, they were fed programming to be a certain way, and if they were born female, they were fed a program a certain way. But they're both the fucking same. They're both assholes. And those that carry the heart of Christ are different. So if you wonder why you've been bullied and all this stuff, it's because you're not one of them. Anyways, that's part 2. Y'all have a wonderful day.